Youth Care program seeks to reach our youth and our families in an in-touch and trauma-informed way. And I want to thank Chief Holloway and our partners for their innovative approach. The Youth Care program is designed to break the cycle of crime among our young residents through early intervention and comprehensive support. The Youth Care program aligns with our vision for safe and healthy neighborhoods in every part of our city. The St. Petersburg Police Department, in collaboration with our new Community Impact and Safety Liaison, Lisa Wheeler-Bowman, will spearhead this program. Now, Lisa brings a wealth of experience and commitment to the well-being of our young people and their families, and her deep-rooted care and dedication and her lived experience and grassroots community connections make her the perfect person to lead this initiative. And we are thrilled to have Lisa back as a member of the St. Pete team. So now let me ask Chief Holloway to come and share some details about how the Youth Care program will operate. Chief?
Good morning, everyone, and thank you for being here. It's a very exciting day for us here at the St. Petersburg Police Department to talk about a new program that we're going to get started this week. And this program is called the Youth Care Program. And the initiative is to help prevent young felony offenders from repeating the cycle of crime through early intervention. This is not a diversion program. I want to repeat that. This is not a diversion program. The kids will still face consequences of the charges that they're being charged with. They will still go through the court system because we want them to know that they did something wrong, but we're here to help them. This program is part of the Mayor Ken Welch Neighborhood Health and Safety Pillar for Progress. It also speaks to the 5 pillars, five of the 5 pillars that the mayor put in place for accountable and responsive government. It talks about impactful, innovative, informed, in touch, and intentional. I want to thank the mayor for his leadership because he's the one that gives the directors a chance to work outside the box. He's always asking us, what can we do better? And this is one way we can do better to make our safer and also to help our youth going through some troubling times. The police department will be working with Ms. Lisa Wheeler-Bowman, who now is the new Community Impact and Safety Liaison. She will be providing support with the kids when they're arrested for the felonies, non-violent felonies. What we saw this first quarter was a 35% reduction in auto theft. And that means the detectives have been doing a great job arresting youth. Maybe people are remembering to take their keys and the key fobs out of cars. But we can't arrest our way out of this problem because we can continue to make the arrests, but if the children out there keep committing these crimes, we're just having a vicious cycle. And as you can see to my right and to your left, we put up one young man that started off. Right now, this young man is at the age of 16. Hear what I'm saying, 16. He has 44 charges. 44 charges. And there's nothing wrong with the court system because the court system works the way it works. But by the time the court system starts to address this problem, this young man now has 44 charges. And what this program is going to do is hopefully intervene and stop this. This past weekend, I can tell you still a problem. We arrested 2 13-year-olds for stealing cars. So what this program is going to do is we're going to go upstream a little bit. We're going to go upstream to figure out what can we do to stop these young kids from stealing cars and how to stop them and their family members from stealing cars. So how's it going to work? Again, I want to make sure I keep saying it. It's not a diversion program because they need to answer to the consequences. So what we're going to do, and thanks to the mayor, is Ms. Lisa Wheeler-Bowman is going to be our contact person. And we went to the hospital, St. Anthony. We kind of like said, you know, we keep saying a health problem, epidemic, is how do we address this? So we're going to treat this care like someone's coming into the emergency room. So to my right and to your left is Lisa Wheeler-Bowman is going to be our primary care person. And what she's going to do is interview the children that were involved in these crimes and the family members that have these children. And what she's going to do then is make recommendations on what they can do. And our first part of our team is we assemble a great team is our call program that we started. And our call program is our partner with Gulf Coast Jewish Family and Services. Dr. Brahm is here today with her staff. They've already have a juvenile specialist in place. So we've already got one of that part done. And thanks to the mayor and city council, this was already budgeted. But we were able to get a grant through the NFL over $400,000 that also now allows us to extend this program for 2 years. So what Ms. Bowman is going to do is our expert is, once she interviews the youth and the family members, she's going to make a recommendation if they should go to call. And if they go to call, call has a specialist in place, and we're going to address 4 main issues that we know that these children are going through. Do they need social service? Do they need food? Do they need mental health? And the main thing that we hear a lot is a lot of these kids that are arrested, they say they're smoking marijuana. And what can we do to get them away from marijuana? And then the other part of it, the city has a lot of programs in place. Ms. Bowman can recommend that a lot of kids say, well, I'm bored, I have nothing to do. We have a great Parks and Rec department. So we're going to extend some hours to that, to Parks and Recs. We have our PAL program. We have our officers. So again, we're all these wraparound services that we're going to get this child when they commit that crime. How do we break that cycle? Because we no longer want to see one of our children with 44 charges. Because what these kids think is at the age of 18, this is going to go away. This is not going to go away. You're carrying these. So the team, again, that we have in place is our call team. We have St. Anthony's Hospital that's going to be a part of our team. AJ, who's in charge of the emergency room, they're going to help us through this program because they also have facilities that can help. Major Taylor, he's in charge of our, I'll say, property crime. He and his detective, again, they're doing a great job. But we got to go upstream. We got to stop this somehow. We have the school board on board with us, and again, Parks and Recs. So with that, I'm going to open it up for questions for anyone.
Chief, you mentioned about you're all doing a good job, all these programs doing a good job, the court's doing a good job. What about the parents?
Well, and that's the whole thing. That's the wraparound thing. We've got a lot of great programs in place. What this is going to do now is bring everybody together. We're going to have one key person, Ms. Bowman, who's going to direct everything for everyone. She can also contact the state attorney's office and say, hey, this is what's going on with the children. The parents need to get involved because this is all voluntary. So that's what the parents need to be here. Mayor?
Let me share a couple of thoughts. So a lot of parents and grandparents are doing everything they can, and they are overwhelmed with one or two of the children in their care. What we've heard in talking with the community is we're not aware of a lot of the resources that are out there. At our first budget hearing this year, we had 2 different groups, one from USF, one a local group, the Dream Defenders, who'd been going through Child's Park. And their message was folks aren't aware of the support that's available. And they actually advocated for exactly this type of liaison position, which we had already planned. And so there's a need in the community. Folks don't understand the resources, and a lot of parents and grandparents are overwhelmed. This will fill that gap in a personal, one-on-one way with someone in Lisa Wheeler Bowman who has exemplary street connections in our community to help some of these parents who are really overwhelmed.
Hey, Chief, I'm reading maybe you can elaborate. It says teams arrested for all of that grand theft and felony criminal mischief. As far as the number of teams involved in gun-related crimes, whether that's shooting, gang-related, or robberies, is there anything that from this program that will help decrease, teams being involved in those type of dangerous crimes?
Yes, because we want to intervene early. If you look at the charges here, I'm going to step over here. This young man started off breaking in the car, and then as you see up, there's the gun charge. Because they're finding guns in cars. Because we're still trying to teach people to take their guns out of their cars. So if we intervene early, what's going on in the family? What type of services can we bring that young man so he doesn't go back out there stealing cars, so he doesn't graduate up to taking that gun out of that car? So that's what it's going to do. We're going to try to intervene into that child's life.
And let me just piggyback on that, because our police department does an excellent job. But simply arresting a young person, and they know the system better than anybody, when they go back to the same environment that led them there in the first place, you've got to break that cycle. And you've got to put that young person in a position to make a better choice. And so that's where this contact after that arrest is going to be so important, and then connecting that young person and their family with resources so they stop making those choices that lead to that continuation of recommitting crimes. We got to break that cycle.
And let me add on Ms. Bowman with the first one that says, you know what? 'Cause we're saying a week, she says 72 hours. Within 72 hours, I should be calling someone. So think about that. Within 72 hours of that child being arrested, there's resources going to be brought to that family.
Hi, Mark Parker, Safety Catalyst. I mean, you know, obviously that's a different scenario, but say you reach one of these kids when they are just first starting out with stealing cars and whatnot. And the educational opportunities, will some of that be workforce training, and is there like a mechanism to maybe help them get the felony expunged so they can get, you know, a good job once they do hit 18?
I don't know about the legal aspect of expungement, but just in general, we believe in second chances for our young folks. And so whether it's a partner like PERC or other partners, even if they have a record, we want to get them on the path of productive employment. And so my mindset is that will be a possibility moving forward. I don't know about the legal aspects, but we want to give everybody a chance to get on the right path.
And we're willing to work with the court system, and we'll be talking to the courts about this, what we can do. As you're aware, we have our second chance program that address when kids are arrested or charged with a misdemeanor. And I can tell you right now, between 70 and 80% of the kids that go through that program have not reoffended. So that program is working. This program is going to also work the same way, hopefully.
Would you say that you guys see an uptick in youth crimes in the summer, and can you address why it's so important to start this right now with school just going on break?
Yes, you know, everybody talked about predictable policing. We can tell you when school's out. I can tell you when the summers happen. I can tell you when spring break happens. I can tell you when the winter breaks happen, because the kids will tell you they're bored. So as the mayor put something in place already for the summer, this is going to continue year round. We are going to address this every day because these youth need something to do, and we have to break that cycle.
Other than vehicle-related crimes, you know, what other crimes have you guys seen that are nonviolent that these teens are getting involved in?
And those are the ones we're going to address: criminal mischief, shoplifting. You know, is a kid stealing from the grocery store because they need something to eat, or are the kids stealing a pair of sneakers because that's the new thing, that's what's on the market? How do we address those things? And that's what we're going to try to address. But those, again, non-violent crimes, that they're the first or second time out, we want to get to that family. We want to get to that child. So we want to show that child there's some options in life.
Have you guys modeled this program after maybe a different one in another city and across the country, or is this kind of organically thought out?
This was organically thought out. This was the team getting together and saying, I got to give my team credit, like saying, okay, what are we going to do? I have to give the burglary detective credit, because they say, Chief, it's the same kid, you know, what are we going to do? I can give an example where the officer said the kid is doing great, and then all of a sudden he decided to go out that afternoon and break into some more cars because he didn't get the consequence. He didn't see anything, and no one spoke to him while he was waiting to go to trial.
Can you reemphasize just how important it is to get involved early and have those families get involved early?
Thank you for that question. It's very important. There's no one in this room can ever say they never made a mistake in life. That child could have probably made a mistake that one time going out with his or her friends and say, hey, let's steal a car, let's do this. You got caught. Now Ms. Bowman's going to help you. Now bring all this resource together, like the mayor was saying. The grandparents and the parents, you know, they're maybe single parents. They're working. They need help, and we're going to give them that. So once a child does something, within 72 hours, we're going to bring those resources to that family.
Can a family member reach out to the liaison? Like, let's say a child was arrested maybe 2 months ago and they're seeing this today. Could they say, I would like those resources for my child?
We're ready. Ms. Bowman told me we're ready. That's why we're making this announcement. We're ready. If we can break that cycle, we're ready.
No, I was just going to respond to the earlier question about is there another model? This is another St. Pete innovation. And Chief, I still credit this to the whiteboard, thinking about, you know, we got a problem, how can we solve it in a different way? The same way we did with our Mayor's Future Ready Academy, a way to connect young people to careers, and we've now hired 6 of the first cohort of 9 out of that. It's just a way to affect a problem that we haven't done before to reach kids that we to date have not been able to reach. And as Chief said, too many of these kids learn bad choices from siblings and folks their age, and that's the path they stay on. We want to break that cycle, get them on a good path through one-on-one interaction with Ms. Bowman and all of our colleagues and supporters. So I'm really excited about it. Thank you, Chief, for bringing this forward.
Thank you, sir.
Mayor, just to kind of go off
Yeah.
of what you just said there, because you addressed siblings, which I think is really important. Let's say somebody does, a teenager does do one of those violent crimes, is there anybody still reaching out to the family? I know they have to go through the court system and do what they have to do for their actions, but it seems to me that family may still need the resources, even if that teen has committed a violent crime, because maybe they do have siblings and we don't want them to go down the path. So are you still going to reach out to teens, families that have committed those violent crimes?
I think as this program develops, that's something that we can look at. We want to start out with the nonviolent crimes, but anything that has the impact that we're looking for, I'm willing to take a look at that and try to implement it, because you've got to do new things to reach these kids who so far we haven't been able to connect with.
Chief, some of these incidents, just last week, large gathering of young adults out by the pier, which resulted in them using toy guns, shooting police horse, other people. And it seems that a lot of these youthful offenders, some of these crimes have been happening in large gatherings of young adults. Can you talk, is there anything that you can do just to kind of disperse these gatherings where a lot of young people are coming together, where it doesn't seem like there's any adults around, it's just kind of drop off and hang out for the night?
Sure, so I'll go back to the mayor. The mayor has put a lot of programs in place here for the summer. So that's where we're trying to get out to these kids to say, you know what, there's other options out there for you. So when you see these large gathering kids, I know the recreation center are extending hours at certain places throughout the city. So we are addressing that. And again, at other areas, we put more officers down there just for a deterrent. And we're gonna also tell these kids where they can go.
You know, we focus on the breadth of responses, opportunities, job opportunities, things like our Summer Fun Day, which we just had this Saturday. But at the end, there need to be consequences. So there's nothing wrong with a big gathering. It's what is the issue is the behavior at some of these large gatherings. And so we want to send the message, you know, gather, but, you know, be respectful. And when it goes over that line, you know, police are going to have to break it up and arrest. In this case, there was an adult driving around with kids in the car shooting the pellets. And so folks need to be held accountable when they behave like that. It's just a terrible example for our young people. So again, we want to make sure there are opportunities. We want to make sure we give folks a second chance, but at the end of the day, there have to be consequences as well.
And Mayor, have you all thought about whether a curfew for
No.
the youth?
No. Am I clear on that? All right. All right, thank y'all, appreciate it. Thanks, Chief.
Thank you so
All right.
much.
Ready to roll?
We have representatives